Greetings. Welcome to another edition of OMT TV. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the header images on your website. So on the museum's template, pages either have a full-size header that looks like this, or pages that don't have a header have just a solid bar of color. If we look at posts, posts have half-size images up here for a header. And I wanted to show you that posts that have header images, which are called featured images in WordPress speak, assigned to them, then it also pulls a nice little thumbnail of it to use right here when it lists all the blog posts in order. So I think this adds a lot when you have a list of all your blog posts. It really helps to draw people in and engage them and help them find things. And so let's add a featured image and aka a header to this post. Now the process we're going to do for the post here is exactly the same for pages. So you'll want to edit your page or post. And it's handled over here on the right. So if we scroll down past all these other boxes, you'll see there is a featured image and a featured image display options section. So we'll look at this first, and this is how we actually set the featured image. So let's click that link. And I want to use a new image for this blog post, so I'm going to drag one in from my desktop. And just like any other image, it's very important to put good alt text in here. So we'll put a little descriptive text of what it's a picture of, and let's fix our typo there. Oh. Okay, now one thing to know about header images is that unlike most images that you use for WordPress content, which can be easily resized, we really want to use an exact dimensions for headers. And so I'm going to drag this other document in here so you can see what those dimensions are. And if you'd like to pause the video right now and write these down, that would be a good idea. So full-size headers, which are used on pages, need to be 1700 pixels wide by 750 pixels tall. And half-size headers that are used on posts need to be 960 pixels wide by 660 pixels tall. And the reason we have these at exact dimensions is because if you use an image that is too large, it is going to be cropped, and you never know how it's going to crop that. And then the other reason is because if it's smaller than this size, it's going to blow it up to that proportion, and then that's going to make it very blurry and pixely. So you want to make sure that they are just right for header images. Like I said, you usually don't have to pay this close attention to dimensions for other WordPress content because you can alter them, but with these we need to be exact. All right, so hopefully you've gotten those written down by now, committed to memory, right? So I'm going to drag this away, and then we are ready with our little half-size image here, and it has an alt text, and so now we can just set the featured image. And then it'll show you a little thumbnail of your image down here. Next, you need to scroll down and go to the featured image display options, and you'll see there's a no image option and a half-width image. You actually have to click here to make the image show up in your header. And there's a reason why this having a featured image but yet not having a header can be useful, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. So now that we have our image selected and we have it set to be a half-width image, and of course if you're editing a page, this will say full size instead of half, we'll want to update and then view our post, and then now we'll have a lovely image here. And if we go back to the page that lists all your posts, you'll see that now there is a nice thumbnail image there. So I highly recommend you put in featured images for posts. So let me show you what happens when you have a post that has a featured image, but we have no image selected. So if we do that, and we view the post, we're not going to have an image here any longer. But since it still has a featured image selected, it's still going to pull it as a thumbnail here. Now this is a situation where you may not want to have that half-size image here, but you do want to have a thumbnail. So that is one way you can make that work. I'm going to show you another example of a reason why that setting can be useful, and that has to do with landing grids. Now there's another video that talks all about landing grids, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but basically you can see this in action. So here we have landing grid for the mammals section, and so they wanted to have how landing grids work is it pulls this featured image just like those blog post thumbnails. However, they wanted to, when they had you click on collection history, they didn't want to have a big header image on every page. Most collection sites only have a large image for their home page, but then don't have any large images for their sub pages. So that's a way that you can have very pretty landing grids with nice images that help you let people know what you're going to be getting into, but then when you actually get there, they're not going to display that header at the top. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed learning how to manage headers on your website. Thanks for watching.